Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Sit tight because what's unfolding in the NFL right now is nothing short of historic for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's been a fascinating season so far, with the team showing resilience, determination, and a clear plan to contend once again. But recent developments have added a new layer of intrigue, especially with the Steelers making a bold move that could redefine their offense and elevate their chances in the playoff race. And no, I'm not talking about just another minor transaction. This could be a game changer, a move that might propel the Steelers to new heights and make the AFC North even more competitive. Let's start by giving you the context. The Steelers, sitting at 4-1, have been impressive on defense, as usual, but their offensive attack has been a bit inconsistent. Their aerial game, in particular, has struggled at times, averaging around 198 yards per game, which is decent but not quite enough to punch through elite defenses or sustain long drives in tight games. The key to really unlocking this offense has been the connection with their receivers, especially with George Pickens, who's had a solid season with 902 yards in 2024. Pickens is a talented player, with a PFF grade of 78.6, but he's also had his issues, including 3 drops this season, which have sometimes hindered the offense during crucial moments. Now, the big news here is that the Steelers have reportedly been exploring a blockbuster trade that could shake up the entire AFC landscape. They're aiming to acquire none other than Davante Adams from the Las Vegas Raiders. Yes, you heard that right. Adams, a 6-time All-Pro and one of the most explosive wide receivers in the league, is a free agent in 2025, and the Raiders are looking to move him now, especially with their struggles this season. The Raiders, sitting at 1-4, are not exactly in a position to contend, and with a defense conceding 29 points per game, they're clearly in a rebuild mode. The front office is focused on shoring up their offensive line and drafting a quarterback in the upcoming draft, so moving Adams makes strategic sense for them. Meanwhile, the Steelers are willing to part with their 2026 first-round pick and George Pickens in exchange for Adams, injecting veteran firepower into their offense just as they're looking to make a serious playoff push. Let's talk about Adams. This guy is a true game-changer. He's been a top receiver in the league since 2014, with 6 All-Pro selections, and in 2025 he's been on fire, with 28 receptions, 412 yards, and 4 touchdowns through just 5 games. His yards after catch, or YAC, is a staggering 12.2 yards per reception, and his PFF grade is an elite 92.4, top among wide receivers. Adams is a route-running maestro, especially on slants, where he's successful 78% of the time, and his contested catchability is outstanding, with a 58% success rate. His career stats are jaw-dropping, over 10, 500 yards and 95 touchdowns, with an average PFF grade of 89.1. He has a proven ability to perform in clutch moments and red zone targets, with a 62% touchdown rate in the red zone, making him a perfect target for quarterback Jordan Rodgers. And speaking of Rodgers, the addition of Adams would be a massive boost for him and the Steelers' offense. Adams is being projected to reach over 200 yards in 2025 with the Steelers, which would significantly enhance the team's passing attack. His presence on the field would increase the efficiency of the offense, raising EPA per pass from around 0.12 to about 0.28, a 15% improvement. This kind of upgrade is exactly what the Steelers need to be a serious threat in the playoffs. With Adams stretching the field and creating separation, his yards per separation are 4 yards higher than the average Steelers receiver. Deontay Johnson would benefit greatly, especially in the slot. It would also reduce drops, which currently sit at around 8%, down to about 4%. That's a game changer for a team that's been trying to get consistent offensive production. Now, let's not forget the ripple effect this move could have. With Adams on the roster, the Steelers could see their aerial yards per game jump from around 198 to a more imposing 260 yards. That's a huge upgrade, really turning their offense into a more explosive unit capable of competing with the league's best. It's also worth noting that this move would echo what we saw in 2022 when the Dolphins acquired Tyreek Hill, boosting their aerial attack by over 250 yards per game. The Steelers, with Adams, could realistically aim for similar success, especially in high-stakes games where their offense needs to be on fire. Meanwhile, the Raiders are making a different move. They're shedding assets to focus on their rebuild. Moving Adams for a first-round pick and Pickens makes sense for them long-term. They're prioritizing youth and draft capital, especially on the offensive line and at quarterback, where they're looking to draft their future franchise guy. The Raiders have about $20 million in cap space, but their defense, which allows nearly 29 points per game, has been a clear weakness. So, from their perspective, trading Adams is about gaining draft capital and building for the future, even if it temporarily weakens their offense. What does this mean for the Steelers? Well, it's simple but impactful. Adams, as a route-running route god, could easily surpass 200 yards this season, and that would be a huge boost for their playoff aspirations. His addition would elevate the entire passing game, making the Steelers more unpredictable and dangerous. It's no secret that with Adams, Rodgers, EPA per pass could jump from around 0.12 to 0.28, which is a significant leap in efficiency. That translates directly into more wins and a better chance at a deep playoff run. Plus, with Pickens potentially out of the mix temporarily due to the trade, the Steelers' offense could see a surge in production, increasing their aerial yards per game from 198 to over 260. Imagine the possibilities when you add a player like Adams to an already talented core. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade has the potential to shift the entire AFC playoff picture. The Steelers, with their strong defense and now a more potent offense, are positioning themselves as serious contenders. Their odds to win the Super Bowl, according to DraftKings, have already shortened from plus 1,200 to plus 550, which reflects the confidence in this new, upgraded team. Adams would be a key piece in their quest for another Super Bowl appearance, especially with their offense becoming more explosive and versatile. It's a move that could turn the tide in their favor, making them a nightmare for defenses and a nightmare for opponents trying to contain that potent aerial attack. And let's not overlook the historical aspect here. If Adams joins the Steelers, it could set a new standard for how they approach offensive upgrades. Since 2022, when the Dolphins traded for Tyreek Hill, we've seen how a single receiver can elevate an entire team's aerial attack and overall offensive efficiency. Adams, with his elite route running, contested catchability, and proven production, could do the same for Pittsburgh. His presence would also open up space for the run game and allow the Steelers to diversify their attack, making them less predictable and more dangerous in all phases of the game. So, fans, the clock is ticking. The trade deadline is coming up on November 4th, and all signs point to some exciting game-changing moves. Will the Steelers pull the trigger and secure Davante Adams? If they do, it will be a statement move, signaling their intent to compete at the highest level and making a real run at the Super Bowl. The potential is there, the pieces are aligning, and the AFC North could be in for a shakeup that fans will be talking about for years to come. This is the kind of move that defines a franchise, and for Steelers fans, it's a moment to get excited about. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUB algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all of this? Do you believe that acquiring Davante Adams could be the move that finally pushes this team over the top? Or do you think it's too risky, given the draft capital they're giving up? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers, and I love hearing your insights. Remember, the trade deadline is just around the corner, so stay tuned because we'll be covering every detail and development. This is a pivotal moment for the Steelers, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Keep rooting, keep believing, and let's keep this Steelers passion alive. Thanks for riding along with me, and I'll be back soon with more updates on this story and everything else happening in the NFL. Stay safe, and as always, go Steelers.